We can cross to the Netherlands. Otto Adang, chair of the Public Order Management at the Police Academy of the Netherlands. Thank you for speaking with us here on France 24.
You're welcome.
I wanted to ask you about the violence we witnessed here in France this past weekend. But first, your comment reacting to what you just heard from that press conference in Utrecht.
Yes, it's because it's very shocking. It's shocking when it happens everywhere. It's shocking in the Netherlands because luckily it's so very rare that these kinds of incidents happen. And it's quite usual that in the first instance, there's very little information about what actually went on, what the motivations are. So unfortunately, that leaves everyone with a lot of uncertainty, and you have to wait for more information to come out.
Are there any telltale clues that are revealing from what you've heard?
No, so far, no. The uncertainty, there's the things that you don't know, and so it would be very unwise to speculate based on the few things that we do know.
All right, let's turn our attention to what's become a political storm here in France. The Prime Minister earlier announcing the sacking of Paris's police superintendent after the government went in for criticism after an 18th Saturday of Yellow Vests riots in the capital, riots where the police were outflanked at times on Paris's Champs Elysées, where once again there was looting and rioting. Among the other measures announced by Edouard Philippe, it will be the banning of further rallies in specific city centers.
We will ban protests linked to the Yellow Vests movement in the worst affected neighbourhoods as soon as we are aware of the presence of radical elements and their intention to cause damage. I'm thinking, of course, of the Champs Elysées in Paris, the Berlin Square in Bordeaux, and Capitol Square in Toulouse.
Otto Adang, it's been the 18th Saturday, and this time the police again caught off guard. What do you think about the sacking of the police superintendent?
Well, I don't think it's a sign that obviously the police is not in control of these situations, and that maybe he's a scapegoat, maybe, I don't know what is behind that, but obviously, you know, this is not a satisfactory situation that you have these excesses and escalations.
We're entering a new uncharted territory with leaderless movements where it's easy to give rendezvous over social media, and where even if most people are peaceful, violent and determined elements can, well, hog the limelight.
Yes, that's, of course, social media. It makes it very easy for people to mobilize. Still, from my experience in many different countries, what you see that most people mobilize are peaceful, and that sometimes you have people that are more intent on violence. And basically what you see, there's different ways in which violence can arise. One is people reacting to situations that they disagree with, or that they feel they're being treated unfairly. And there's another type of situations where specifically young men they don't need an immediate trigger to respond. They are actually looking for situations to act violently. And the important thing then is for escalation to occur, two other factors become important. And one is that the perceived opportunity for people to participate is low if people perceive that there's a very low likelihood that there will be consequences, that they will be apprehended or arrested. That will lower the threshold for people to participate. Another important factor is if there's an increasing distinction between us versus them, and if that another side or the police are being seen as opponent, as a different, as really the enemy, and then the psychological effect of that is that the actions of the other side are being perceived more easily as illegitimate, and so then it becomes more legitimate to act against them, or to, in a way, as a justification, you know, to defend yourself. Having said that, In my experience in many different countries, still it's only a minority of people that actually become violent. Even, you know, if it's 10%, it's already a lot. So most of the situations, people do not make that choice to go that far.
Because here it was put as a sort of a dichotomy between should the police have been bending over backwards not to be seen using too much brutality, and did they do enough to protect shops?
Yeah, well, I cannot just judge that from this distance. Generally, what this means and what we found in research and what I teach is, you know, we have 4 basic principles to deal with these kind of situations. One, it's important to get to know the people that you're dealing with and what's important to them, also symbolically, and to try and avoid antagonizing them, but to really understand. That doesn't mean that you have to agree with them, but that you really know what's going on and what's relevant for them. And the second principle is that where there's, you know, in a democratic society, people can protest, people can show emotions, and you can facilitate them in expressing, you know, legitimate goals. That doesn't, of course, mean that you have to facilitate violent behavior. And the third important principle is to communicate. To communicate.
Important principle to communicate. Otto Adang, unfortunately, I'm going to have we're going to have to leave it there because we're running out of time. But I want to thank you so much for joining us today, Otto Adang of the Police Academy of the Netherlands. Stay with